Hello, I'm Oliver Colling, and this is the My 70s TV Childhood Quiz. Welcome back to our 1970s TV-related quiz. We are an offshoot of the My 70s TV Childhood podcast, which is a celebration of growing up as a child in 1970s Britain and the important part that TV played in our lives back then. Our quiz is very simple. I'll pose you 20 questions over 4 rounds to test your knowledge of 1970s TV trivia. Now, it's just for fun, but please feel free to take it as seriously as you want. Okay, so without further ado, why don't you grab a piece of paper and a pen, and we'll get down to this week's quiz. Round 1 is all about Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, the insanely popular cartoon series, much loved by a generation of children across the world. Question 1. The show originally ran in the US for 2 seasons from 1969 to 1970. How many episodes were made in total? Question 2. Who provided the voice for Scooby-Doo? Question 3. What was Velma's surname? So Velma, I've lost my glasses. What was her surname? Question 4. The team travelled around in a hippie-ish van with some psychedelic painting on the side. But what was the van called? What was the team's van called? And question 5. One of the enduring themes of the show was the gang wandering around at night in deserted fairgrounds, or carnivals as we should say to keep in line with the American programme. In which number episode of the first series did they first do this? How was that? Hope you did all right and weren't put off by those pesky meddling kids. So on to round 2. And this is our marathon or Fil Rouge round, where we ask you 5 questions based on previous episodes of the podcast. Now please don't worry if you haven't managed to listen to all of our 140 odd episodes. I'm sure you'll be fine. Question 1. The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin, featured in October 2023. When we first meet Reggie in the TV series, what is the name of the company that he works for? So what's Reggie's company called? Question 2. In January 2023, we talked about the new Avengers and mentioned one of the stars who ended up doing a long-running range of coffee adverts with Diane Keane. Who was that star? And, for a bonus point, what was the coffee brand? Question 3. In June 2024, we looked back at Bod. What was the name of the resident policeman in the show? So what was the policeman called in Bod? And question 4. Our recent episode on Wait Till Your Father Gets Home featured the Hanna-Barbera cartoon of the same name. But what was the name of the father in the title? So what was his name? I can have his first name and his surname, please. And question 5. Way back in March 2021, we looked back at schools' TV programmes and I mentioned a series called Sam on Boss Island. Now this was actually a segment in another show. Which school's TV show was it? That's halfway through already. Now our next round is our ever-popular Spin the Wheel and Name That Tune mix, where I spin our specially constructed, at vast expense, Wheel of Fate to choose a year from the 1970s, which I will then feed into our state-of-the-art AI-powered theme tune generator to produce 5 theme tunes of shows first shown in that year on UK TV. All clear? Great. So let's spin the wheel. And it's landed on 1971. Okay, so let's feed that into our AI-powered theme tune generator. And Here we go with theme tune 1. I think that's a bit tricky. Unlike theme tune 2.
Down in the meadow where the windows be, in the middle of a field stand the lightning tree. His limbs all torn from the day it was born, for the tree was born in a thunderstorm. Grow, grow, the lightning tree, it's never too late for you and me. Grow, grow, the lightning tree, never give in too easily. Down in the meadow where the windows light, the lightning struck in the middle of the night. Limbs stripped bare by the lightning flare, the lightning flare was a wild affair. Grow, grow, the lightning tree, it's never too late for you and me. Grow, grow, the lightning tree, never give in too easily.
What a classic. And theme tune 3. That's another tricky one as well, I think. But hopefully this one will be easier. And finally, theme tune 5. Right, so we're on to our final round already. And this is our TV Times round where we ask you anything we like about 70s TV. Question 1. Petra was a much-loved Blue Peter pet. But what was the name of her puppy who also featured on the show, but who died in 1971 at a tragically young age? Question 2. It's a Knockout was a firm favourite for many of us in the 1970s, and former football referee Arthur Ellis featured as the resident referee. But who was the referee in the European version, Jeux Sans Frontières? So who was the European referee in Jeux Sans Frontières? And question 3. In the long-running shaky scenery soap opera Crossroads, who did Meg Richardson's daughter Jill meet on Christmas Day in 1978 before marrying him in 1983? And question 4. What was the name of the owl in The Herbs? So, what was the name of the owl in The Herbs? And question 5, one which I've often been confused by. David McCallum and Joanna Lumley were the leads in Sapphire and Steel. But which one was which? And that's it. Another quiz, our 38th in total, done. So while you're checking your answers, let me give you the answer to last time's bonus question. I asked you this question. On the 19th of August 1970, ITV celebrated the 1000th episode of Coronation Street and broadcast a tribute and published a special souvenir issue of TV Times. But what was strange about the celebration? Well, the answer is that someone had miscounted, and all of the celebratory activity surrounded the 999th episode. Bit embarrassing for ITV, but well done if you got that right. Now, this time's bonus question is: the final episode of Dad's Army was broadcast on Remembrance Sunday in 1977 and features Corporal Jones marrying Mrs. Fox. The episode ends with the cast facing the camera and Sergeant Wilson proposing a toast to what or who? If you know the answer, then let me know by emailing quiz@my70stvchildhood.com. And you can also use that address to let me know any of your views you have about our quiz or the podcast itself. So now let's go on to this week's answers. In our first round, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Question 1. How many episodes of Scooby-Doo were made in total? Well, there were 25, 17 in Season 1 and only 8 in Season 2. And so that probably means we must have watched them again and again during the 1970s, but I don't care. Question 2. Who provided the voice for Scooby-Doo? And that was the great Don Messick, who provided character voices for lots and lots of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Question 3. What was Velma's surname? Well, she was Velma Dinkley. And question 4. The team travelled round in a hippie-ish van, and what was that called? It was called the Mystery Machine. Question 5. One of the enduring themes of the show was walking around deserted carnivals at night. In which number episode did they first do this? Well, actually, it took till episode 8 of Season 1, an episode called Foul Play in Funland, before the team actually started doing that. And they were to do that many, many times in the future. Okay, on to round 2, our marathon Phil Rouge round. Question 1. What was the name of the company that Reggie Perrin first worked for? That was Sunshine Desserts. Question 2. From the new Avengers, which one of the stars ended up doing a long-running range of coffee adverts with Diane Keane? And for a bonus point, what was the coffee brand? Well, it was Gareth Hunt, and the coffee brand was Nescafe. Question 3. What was the name of the policeman in Bod? That was PC Copper. Still, it's a very, very strange, odd programme. And question 4. In Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, what was the name of the father in the title? And I said you need to have his first and second names. So that's Harry Boyle. Harry Boyle. And question 5. Way back in March 2021, we looked at Sam on Moss Island, which was segment in which school's TV show? That was Words and Pictures. All right, on to round 3, our Name That Tune round. Tune number 1. That was the tune to the 1971 adaptation of Tom Brown's School Days. Theme tune 2, hopefully most of you got this, that was Follyfoot. What a tune that is. Question 3 is another tricky one. This was the theme tune to the programme The Guardians, which was a futuristic political thriller. Question 4. Shouldn't need much explanation. Theme tune 4 was the theme to Bless This House. And similarly, theme tune 5. I should think many of you got this one. That's the theme to Upstairs, Downstairs. All right, on to our final round, TV Times. Question 1. What was the name of Petra's puppy who also featured on the show? And that was Patch. Question 2. Who was the European referee in Je Suis Frontière? And that was Guido Pancaldi. Now, I'm feeling generous, so if you just said Guido, then that's fine. Question 3. In Crossroads, who did Meg Richards' daughter Jill meet on Christmas Day 1978 before marrying him in 1983? Well, it was womanising accountant Adam Chance with his big moustache. She never stood a chance. Question 4. What was the name of the owl in the Herbs? That was Sage, Sage the Owl. And question 5, and I did always used to get mixed up with this. David McCallum and Joanna Lumley, which was which in Sapphire and Steel? Well, Sapphire was Joanna Lumley and Steel was David McCallum. So, how have you got on? Are you dancing for joy or are you sitting quietly in the corner? Whatever, I hope you've enjoyed our quiz. And if you have enjoyed it, then why not tell your friends and maybe start a bit of rivalry between you to find out who knows most about 1970s TV. Thanks for listening and hope you'll join us again soon for our next regular podcast in a week's time and for our next quiz in a fortnight. In the meantime, take care, be nice to one another, and please don't forget to join us again soon for more from My 70s TV Childhood and the My 70s TV Childhood quiz.